This is all going to get edited.
I know, that's why I'm so stressed.
This video is brought to you by Land of the Losers. I finished this book in 48 hours. I loved it so much that I contacted the editor and begged for him to sponsor my channel. This is hands down the best red pill book on the market. If you want to read my full review, check out the link in the description box below. And when you're ready to order your copy, whether it's hardcover or Kindle, make sure to use the special discount that's offered only to my audience members. As always, information is down below. Alright, let's get to the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with my friend Isla, who's going to provide the female perspective today. And we're going to read a post called, Is This Polyamory or Is She Just a NARC Jerk? I think NARC stands for narcissist. I have been having this problem with my wife and I want to know your opinion. I've been married for 10 years with no kids. Her decision. 3 years ago, she cheated on me. 3 months after D-Day, she decided I was too important for her to let me go and ended her affair, and we rebuilt our marriage. I have just discovered a new affair I have been battling with her ever since. She doesn't want the affair to end. Her excuse is that she is this way. She feels that she is wired different and that I should accept her. That she is free and that I must appreciate and always enjoy when she wants to be with me. But that she can be free to go and see her lover. I am trying to understand her, so I started to learn about non-monogamy. What a disaster of syntax, that paragraph. I may be a fool, but I wanted to save my marriage. I talked to her about an open marriage, but she went nuts, yelling to me that I only wanted to cheat on her with her consent. So she didn't accept. There are multiple aspects to this story. First, she always said that she hated cheaters, that having more than one love was not normal, and that she was 100% into monogamy. Due to my parents' marriage falling apart for an affair in my teenage years, I decided I wanted to stay with the woman I choose forever. So I was completely into this marriage. Her affair is with a married man with children. His wife found out about the affair too, and he kicked her out of his house so he can be free to have his affair. My wife doesn't want to end the relationship with me. Rather, she just wants me to let her be.
My thoughts, first off, it seems unclear he's got a perspective of what a marriage should be because of his history, his parents.
It seems like this guy has got a really, really big thing for marriage. He doesn't want to repeat his parents' mistake, and she's exploiting that weakness. She's like, I know this guy doesn't want to end our marriage. We've got children. I've kind of got him. So I'm going to ask for rules that are ridiculously exploitative and one-sided. Because, it's like that. People will act the way that they think they can get away with.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I find it really interesting that the man who she was having an affair with kicked his own wife out of the house when she found out about the affair. It seemed a little bit like a little sneaky relationship that you're trying to hide from your parents and run off down the street, not say anything to anyone, and when people find out, you get mad over it instead of finding a reasonable solution.
One of the problems in this situation is that it seems like monogamy was the foundation to start from. So what she's trying to do is change the rules halfway through. But, that can happen, but she's doing it in such a bizarre way because she's claiming that she's wired like a polyamorous person. And there are some people wired that way, I think. But she's behaving like someone having an affair because you look at how anti she was about an open marriage, and the rules that apply to her don't apply to him. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like it's an excuse to get away with what she's doing, in saying that absolutely she could be wired as a polyamorous person. I don't think there's any doubt about it, but you have to, if in any relationship, in any marriage, you have set boundaries, you have set rules, whether they're set or not, about how far you go with other people, the friends you kind of have. Plain and simple cheating when it's not communicated.
Didn't you find it fascinating when she accused him of, when he brought up an open marriage, she's like, you just want my permission to have an affair. It's like,
absolutely.
What?
Yeah. If you're going to be that way, you have to make it both ways, whether he's interested in being with any other woman or not. At least it's a fair arrangement that they both do have that freedom.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is amazing. It doesn't sound to me like it's a casual affair, because look how seriously the other guy is taking it.
Yeah.
He's kicked his own wife and children out of the house so he can pursue this affair.
Absolutely.
I think she's gearing up. They've both probably been gearing up to replace their partners and this be the main relationship, because look how reluctant she is to end it. He's ready to lose his entire life. Have you heard of the concept of branch swinging?
Branch swinging?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so this is something that the red pill community talks about. I hope I get this definition correctly, but it's the idea that a woman won't end a relationship until she knows that she's got another one to move into.
Yeah.
Much like a monkey won't let go of one branch until it's grasped hold of another one.
Yes, exactly.
This seems like a pretty textbook case of branch swinging, that she probably does subconsciously at least want to end this relationship with this guy, but she's lining up the other one first.
Yeah, it's a comfort. It's codependence on another person as well. As much as she might not want to break up with this person because he's not a bad person in any way possible, she doesn't have the love for him anymore that she used to, maybe. They're both probably making a comfort for each other, knowing that if their own families fall apart, they've started this affair with a new person.
It's hard to imagine that their relationship is functional in any way, because if you've got these kind of one-sided rules and affairs going on, you have to wonder, well, things have been going badly for a long time. But I mean, she says she doesn't want to end the relationship, but maybe, I know some people, they have affairs just to end it because they don't want to get the blame for it. Maybe she's like, yeah, I do want to end it, but I don't want to be the bad guy, so I'm going to push you into an extremely uncomfortable situation so that you've really no choice but to leave me.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about the fact that she cheated? Like, is there any coming back from that? Like, would you ever, if someone cheated on you, could you ever forgive them? Or was that the end of the relationship straight away, no exceptions?
In this circumstance, if she came up in front and honest about why the cheating happened and that it wouldn't happen again because they would be aware of what each other are doing, absolutely you could push through having that trust. But to me personally, once the trust is broken with cheating, it's pretty well broken. To him, if he's just trying to keep the relationship together because that's what he thinks is right, and he doesn't actually love the idea of her being with anyone else, then what is he doing wondering about it? I personally wouldn't continue to trust someone who just cheated on me like that, when after a 10-year marriage you should have that comfort of being able to say whatever's on your mind, whatever your desire is.
I don't even think she'd heard of the term polyamory. Like, she wanted to have her affair. Like, he was the one who did the research and like was exploring non-monogamy, and as soon as you type polyamory into YouTube, you get a world quite different from affairs. You get people talking about authenticity, radical honesty, communication, compersion, like a lot of things. It's a lot about self-growth. You know, the world of an affair is about cheating and lying and all these kind of things. So potentially, in his desire to maintain the marriage and maintain like a positive image of this woman, he's trying to interpret this behavior as if she's polyamorous, because she's using terms like I'm just wired differently, which you'll hear in the polyamorous community. But really what's going on is she got caught twice cheating, and he's trying desperately to kind of hamster some sort of rationalization.
Yeah.
But maybe she's not polyamorous. Maybe she's just a bad person.
Cold cheater.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. A relationship won't work unless you can be mindful and view your own emotions for what they purely are, not sugarcoat them, not turn them around and make them anything else. If she wanted to cheat just because of wanting to be with someone else, then she needs to say that.
The very first time she had an affair, in addition to just being like, oi, what the hell, like, you would have had to have had very long, deep discussions along the lines of, tell me what you were getting out of this. Like, why did you start this affair? How does he make you feel? What do you feel like is lacking in your life that you wanted to go and do this, that this is providing? And it is an opportunity to get to know the other person sooner. So, I mean, really, he doesn't owe this woman anything. She's a cheater. Like, if he wants to break up with her, it's fine. But for his own sake, he might be well served to actually sit down with her and be like, let me try and understand exactly where this is coming from.
And where this urge is deriving from, what it is. You shouldn't have any communication problems. You shouldn't have any trouble telling each other what your emotions are, no matter how shameful or embarrassing it might sound. Once you get married, you're going through a life journey together, and you will still have self-exploration. It's always going to happen throughout your life. All that needs to be said is that honesty before you make a decision, before you decide to run off with a new opportunity that you've been given. talk about it.
Yeah, communicate. That's
Communicate. And get to the bottom of why you're feeling that way also. If the position comes up and you're in a monogamous relationship, why would you not question why you feel the desire to be with someone else?
Yeah, that's interesting. Find that out about yourself, yeah. And if you love your partner, you'd be curious to know that too, about them.
Absolutely.
So in terms of advice moving forward, I would definitely tell him to not accept the arrangement that she has provided as an option for a number of reasons. One, I don't think she's a very high quality woman, but more importantly, it would be so deleterious to his self-esteem if he was to accept the short end of the stick in the situation. He would be sitting there in the back of his mind being like, she gets to go and have sex with this other guy, and I'm not allowed to do that with another woman, which basically means she's got more power, she's more valuable, and that is going to make him feel terrible about himself. Yeah. In order to save his own relationship with himself, he needs to end his relationship with this woman.
Absolutely. I agree.
Let me ask you, so she's having an affair with this guy, and this guy is already married and has children. Like, if we're looking for more evidence that this woman is not a particularly virtuous woman, the fact that she's willing to be the other woman and potentially break up with a whole family, that doesn't speak very well to her character.
Absolutely. And that's where it sounds like just the desires come along. It's that movie scene moment where you have two people looking each other in the eyes and they just go at it for, with no questions asked kind of thing. And then after that scene, they always cuts to the scene where they're both laying in bed and they go, oh shit, what have we done? Sounds like it's a cover-up for them both also, and he's used a very similar defense tactic of kicking his own family out of the house so he can continue this affair.
I wonder if she knows that she's doing something wrong, and so she specifically sought out a partner who is also doing something wrong so that they're kind of
in it together.
Yeah, that's right. They're codependent in their secrecy and they're kind of debasing themselves. I mean, all of this just speaks to terrible virtues, terrible character. And this guy, if he's a nice guy, he needs to do everything he can to protect his daughters, to make sure that when this breaks up, he's not going to lose custody based on lies. Because someone who's willing to cheat and who's even attracted to a married man, that's not somebody who you'll trust to operate with any kind of virtues or morality or ethics if things were to go sour.
Absolutely.
So let me give you a hypothetical situation. Okay. You find the man of your dreams and he's just beautiful. He's everything that you've ever wanted, but he's married and with children, and he's like, I love you so much, but I can only ever have an affair with you. What do you do? Do you have an affair with him? Like, would you ever be willing to be the other woman, or is that never?
Never. I think never. Not only for myself and what my desires are, no matter how much I want this magical man, but the perspective that I'm going to break up their family because it's not an agreement he already has. To me, also, I have a little bit of a switch in my brain. It's like a boundary. If I know someone's untouchable, it's not even a thought that comes up. I guess most women wouldn't see a married man and think, I'm still going to hit on them.
You sure? You stop even considering him as a sexual prospect once you know his sort of status,
Yeah.
That makes sense. So are you aware that, like, women sometimes have, like, this dual sexual mating strategy where they want to receive the genetic material, like the semen of, like, the alpha male, the baddest guy around. He's awesome. He's who I want to father my children. But he's often not the guy that sticks around and actually provides. For that, you want the beta male provider guy who's going to, stick around. It seems to me that after 10 years of marriage with this guy, she's seeing him as the beta male. He doesn't provide that excitement. Potentially, there's this other guy. And I guess, what do women do if they want to reconcile these two mating strategies? Do they just need to find the compromised guy? Is polyamory the answer? Do they just need to grow up and forget their sleeping with alpha male days?
I think it happens with almost anyone. Is the thing, you can be with an alpha male to begin with and they turn into a beta because you're with them for 10 years. It's a lot of people do lose that spark that they get in the honeymoon stage, and so it's not so much a alpha problem as much as not being content with how the road you've gone down. I do see where you're coming from, where women want both. But again, I think that's a question of whether you're a polyamorous person or whether you still only, you are monogamous, but you need to communicate with your partner that you have to make a new spark or give some new excitement to the relationship.
That's all we're going to say on this one, but we're interested to hear what you guys think. So leave a comment below. Let us know what you think the guy should do in this situation, how this all came about, any thoughts at all. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you pick up your copy of Land of the Losers. Best red pill book on the market. Make sure you get it. We've had lots of people buy it so far, and they've left amazing reviews because it's an amazing book. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my Patreon page if you want to see some behind the scenes footage. Check out a bunch of extras. But apart from that, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.